So I'll start recording now. And let's see. Okay, do you still see my screen?
I do.
Okay, good. So this is the hero image, which is created by essentially the slider, but a slider was one slide, what we talked about. And how do we do it? So if I go to the back end and I go to slider revolution over here, and let's click there to go back. So these are the current different sliders we have on the site. This was the one that was previously, and this is the new one that I created. I called it Homepage Hero. Okay.
Yep.
Now, if you want to edit it, we just click on the little pencil here, and now we can see the slide editor. Okay. And this is how the slide is built. Now, the importance of this is that going down the road, you'll be able, if you want, to update and change it by yourself. So you won't be needing a designer or a developer or anyone to do that. You'll be able to do it by yourself as long as you have the assets and you're willing to do it, and you know how to do it. So the actual slider is built with a few components here. So you can see this, one of them is the image here. Another component, this is a group. So if I double click on it, you'll see it's 3 pieces of text, and everything is editable. So if I double click, remember before there wasn't it was without the O, so I just add the O. So there's no need to go to a graphic program or whatever. You just can edit it here, and then another piece of text here. Again, double click, and then you can edit the text. Now, maybe if you would like to add a U for the favorite or not, you can just do it here. Same thing for the button. We have all the properties of the button, the color of the text that we want to show on it. For example, if you next time you want to put not a product, but maybe a blog post or a special webinar or whatever, all you do is change it to learn more, and that's it. So
right on.
It's very easy to edit, and this is the reason I said that it'll be better to build it this way rather than using an image, just an image. Another benefit is because this is text, so search engines can actually read it. So it's good for search too.
Right on.
So, and we also talked about having, like, instead of a slider moving, which we can't control, and we agree that it's not the best way to market, we have one prominent message on the homepage. So let's say that you had this product running, and now you have, for example, a new product or something else you want to have on the hero. So the best way to go would go back here. You see slider settings, and what we would do is duplicate the slide and then just edit it. So that would be, instead of rebuilding a slide from scratch, we would go and duplicate this slide and then edit it.
In the slide editor, right? And then I would just select on the edit button there and create a new
Correct.
slide.
So you have, well, you wouldn't add a slide, but you can duplicate. You have an option to duplicate.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So now we're clicking here on duplicate, and now we have another slide 2. But we don't want them to revolve, right, between one another, to move. So once I create a new one, the previous one I'll just set to not to display, right?
Okay.
Now I click here and I edit this one. So now I'm editing Sorry?
Yeah, quick question.
Mm-hmm.
This would be how I would create, like, let's say the next one for hydrate or strengthen, because we have nourish now, right? I would just
Exactly.
duplicate and populate it basically in the editor.
Exactly. So let's, we can do, I can show you how. So for example, we need to replace this image, right? So if I double click on it, it opens up the media library. And now I click on this image here. Okay. And we see the strengthen with coconut, right? This is, for example, if this would be to be the next product you want to promote.
Mhm.
Now we're going to do this, but I want to show you just one thing here. You see the size of this image?
Mhm.
It's 1 megabyte, which is too large. For example, the size of the image which I used here is 387, which is about a third of the size.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
And size of images is one of the components that affect page speed. So we don't want to have images which are too large. But we'll go back to that, and I'll show you how we can. Well, I sent you a few links. I do it with Photoshop, but you can do it with either of the links that I sent. And for our and actually the images that you sent to me are already optimized. You remember I asked for you to send me the images broken up.
Yep.
From your designer.
Yep.
So those images are actually optimized. So we can use them for this slide.
She has, but I get it. So from the back end here, I should probably go through and now just a quick question while we're in the media library. Is it slowing my website down to even store pictures this size? No?
No, you can have your large images, but having your large images means essentially that you're having them also somewhere on your site. So storing the images on the server doesn't slow your site, but having big images on the server means that somewhere on the site you're having big images.
Okay.
So
so I'll have to
yeah, exactly. So just by looking, some of the images are good, like this image here. It's 183, which is fine. I'm sure we can reduce it even more if you wanted to, but but seeing this image that we talked about, this is a very large image for this type of picture.
So if I reduce the size from back here, will it reduce on the front end as well, if that makes sense? Like wherever it's being used?
What we would do is take this image and take it into a program like Photoshop or another online service, reduce the image, and then import it back to the website. We wouldn't be using this image.
So then I guess, would that sort of affect the image from the front end, if I can say that? If I delete it from here and take it through a shrinking system and bring it back in?
Well, if that image is currently on one of the web pages on your site and you delete it from here, then it won't be showing on the website. So the best way to do it is to optimize the image, bring it back, upload it here to the media library, then do the switch, and then delete the old image because you just don't need to hold two same images.
Yeah, right. I guess I'm just sort of confused about.
Let me just, for a second, I'll show you what I mean.
So I wonder if I should go search and destroy the big images that are showing up on the page, on the website somewhere first, and then shrink the image, bring it, upload it.
Well, since you don't have that much images in the, all the images are like, I don't know, maybe 100 images, and all these images here that we see, these are like the template images that probably came with a template.
Yeah.
So what I would do is, for example, look at this image, see, for example, this one is 12 kilobytes. So it's really, really small. So you wouldn't deal with this kind of image. But if you see a large image, like, I don't know if there is one here. For example, this one, okay? So this is a pretty big image. I'm sure we can cut it down to, 100 or even less. So I would say, okay, where is this image in my website? And then optimize this image, go to the page where this image is, and then replace it.
Okay. There's the copy link on the side. Does that actually tell me where the image is?
Well, no, this tells you where the image is in the server. It can give you a hint because it organizes it by date. So you see, this is February 2018. This is when you uploaded it. So I guess it's probably from a post from February 2018 or something.
Yeah. Well, there's not a lot, so it's good to get it all sorted now. Like you said, there's maybe 100 images. It's just a lot for me, but I don't have a lot to compare it to. But I know where these images are for the most part. I would just I should probably edit them from the back end first and then update them to the front end, if I can say that, like from the media library, that's the back end.
Yeah. So you would optimize the image, upload it to the back end, and then attach it again to that post. Replace it with a previous image, and I would work, on if you don't want or you don't have time to do all the images, start with the ones that from the latest blog posts that you have.
Yeah.
Don't work on images from 5 years ago or 3 years ago.
Yeah, I was going to ask your thoughts on that because I've got a page where all the images are just so bad, and it was basically from like 5 years ago, and I'm not sure if there's a way to optimize that page, or I guess I'd have to have like the original pictures or something,
right?
Or if I leave it,
right? So you would probably look at how popular the page is. If you have analytics or anything like tells you how many visits you have. So if you see that the blog post has lots of visits, so you wouldn't delete it, of course, and you would think of how to optimize it.
Yeah.
So that's
I would think one of my questions is like, how would I optimize the one page? Like it's called SHC Drive, and I'm curious to see how you would optimize it if, let's say, like people are using it, or if I should just delete it or take it, unpublish it.
We'll take a look at it. Yeah, sure, we can take a look at it. I just want to finish the slider part. So,
Great.
So as we were talking, I opened the folder of the images that you sent to me.
Yeah.
And you see here, these are the images you got from the graphic designer. Right. So you see here, this same image is 371, which is much better than 1 megabyte, which is essentially 1,000 kilobytes, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So for example, if you want to make now the new slider with this product image, so I would take this image, I'm dragging it here. It's being uploaded. 1 second.
Yeah.
See, this is here.
Great.
362, and I click on insert. And now the title would be strengthen, right? And then we would add the subtitle here. What would that be?
It's I guess you can even treatment, gel treatment.
Gel treatment?
Yeah, like it's a leave-in gel, or leave-in treatment, gel treatment. Yeah, call it gel treatment.
Okay.
I know it's like from the all good.
And then leave this or not? Yeah.
Well, no, I think it's coconut is like sort of the feature ingredient, not aloe. Yeah, just coconut.
Okay.
And silk amino acid, or silk protein, you could say. Coconut and silk protein, probably best way. with coconut and silk protein. Right
All
on.
right.
Mm-hmm.
And then here, you don't have to give it to me now, but if you want, we can edit this.
Yeah, it's in the, I mean, whatever it was said was in the graphic design one is fine.
Okay, we'll leave it like this for this example.
Sure.
And then you can edit it down
Yeah.
the, yeah.
That'll be good.
And
the link,
right, and then we have, for the button, once the user hits the button, we want them to go to this specific page in the site, right?
Yes.
So we would go to the site and we go to the shop. And this is the product. And now I copy the link here on top. Copy it. And now I go back here. And you see here on the Actions tab, this is what happens when someone clicks. He goes to, well, since we duplicated, that's a Nourish, right?
Yes.
So we delete it and we add the one we paste the strengthen product.
Right on.
And now I'll save the slide. And now since we're showing just this slide, right? You see here, just slide number 2.
Mm-hmm.
If we go back to the page of that homepage, the temporary homepage that I created, home new, we have the strengthen one.
Oh, right. Right.
Now, one last thing, this background, right? It's a different color for strengthen.
Mm-hmm.
So where do we do that? For each slide, we have here the background image, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we can see here under the source settings, this is currently the Nourish one. Mm-hmm. So if you want to change, I'll have to upload that image because we still don't have it. We have the Nourish one, which is the green one. So background strengthen is here. It's the blue one.
Mm-hmm.
I drag it over. And once it's uploaded, I'll click on insert. So now we see the blue one. Mm-hmm. And save slide. And refresh this page. And now we have the blue one.
Yeah.
So you see, it's very, very easy to update and the image, the text. And then if you want to make like a promotional, not a product per se, it's very easy to do. If you keep this, you can rearrange it how you want, but the simplest way to go is to duplicate and then just edit the assets you have here, the image, the button, the title, subtitle, etc.
Yeah, I get that. That's good stuff.
Yeah, I think this will help you very much, and the users, once they land on the site, to understand what they're seeing.
Yeah, it's such an improvement, just this sort of focus. Yeah. So I'm glad for your eye on that. It's sometimes I'm getting lost in the forest.
Yeah, it's like exactly too many trees, you don't see the forest. So this keeps it clean and prominent, and you understand what to do here. You click on shop now.
Right on.
Great. So let's go and see the blog posts, right?
Yeah, the blog post looks great. I'm glad the border's off. It's just like a nice sort of foam there.
Mm-hmm.
I have no real question about the blog post. How do I add an image to, 2 questions. Yeah. So the blog post, first, I wonder if there's a way to rotate the 3. So, you know, every week or something, it's set up to rotate to show the next 3, you know, that
Yeah.
are,
Yeah. So
yeah.
the way it's built, this shows the latest 3 posts that you publish on the site. Now, the first one, our story, is a pinned post. I don't know if you remember doing that, but you pinned this post, meaning it always shows on top.
Right.
So if you want, yeah, since it's pinned, it will always show here.
I see.
Now you might think, okay, you know, if someone wants to know our story, they can click on about Sheena and read about us, because this part of the site is the blog post, which I post like every other week or every other month, etc. Now, I think that having, you know, you're not like a news outlet. You don't post 10 items a day, right?
No, right.
You post like once a week. That's a good week.
Maybe 3 times a year.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
that's my goal. So.
You should double down on that. I'm sure that you can post every week something about, you know, benefits of shampoo and hair and lifestyle. I'm sure.
Okay.
And it doesn't have to be an academic post. It doesn't have to be 3,000 words. It can be, you know, 200 words, 300 words, you know, about something in your world. And that will
okay. Yeah. That will give
you and your website and your users great benefit, because they see that, you know, you're posting new stuff, and you can connect between the posts and your products, and you can do all sorts of stuff. And this is what I want to say, that I don't like, you know, the rotating, the moving stuff, because it tends to give the user it's called banner blindness. So when the user sees too many things, colorful banners rotating, moving, he says, "Oh, this is a commercial or selling something. I don't want to go there."
Yeah, so, I get it.
So I think if you have this 3 blog posts, and, you know, once a month you'll have 3 new ones, or once every 2 months 3 new ones, it'll have a great impact, and not a lot of work from you.
I see your point. I agree with what is the moving banner. I'm thinking, like, in the carousel, which I think we'll visit in a minute. I've got one more question here about the blog, but in the carousel, I was thinking maybe I would be more apt to, like, quick notes, sort of like, you know, current events or current news. And I was thinking I could use what is that carousel in closer to the bottom of the page for something like that.
This one? This one? This is testimonials, right?
Well, that's, I think, the idea of of what this is, but I imagined I could use it differently. Yeah. Just as far as, like, to say, hey, you know, like, our shipping situation currently with the, you know, COVID, you know, pandemic issue, like maybe a quick note there.
So for the pandemic issue, I would, like, add, like, on the top of the site, like, a strip saying, since, you know, COVID-19, shipment may take a few days longer. You know, so just a short, and because people, most of the, like, not most, but some people won't reach this area here, down here, right? Even if they buy and purchase and do the whole thing, they might not even know this area here exists.
Got it. Okay, so then can you maybe inform me on how to do a strip, maybe in another session? But I'd like to get something up about, you know, the shipping delays, and without getting too involved with what it is, because I think there's enough information out there about it.
Yeah.
So that was but again, to your point with how to use the post, like, for me, right now, it's not really realistic to say I can do a post even once a month, but I'm going to work up towards that. Can I use carousel, that slider carousel there in the bottom of the page for, like, be on Tuesday, or like, you know, a pop-up shop that's happening, or like, you know what I mean? Quick.
Yeah, sure. You can use that. You know, we can think about adding it in another section of the site, or
Okay.
using the current one. You know, if the customer testimonials are great, I love them because
Okay.
you know they're trust builders, and people actually see, okay, she got some people using her products and they like it, etc. Of course, they have to be candid, they have to be realistic, right? I would put here like real names, or at least the first name.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean too. It's my, I'm kind of prioritizing around like okay, so like with the posts,
mhm.
I have product reviews there and pictures and testimonials. So
Excellent.
I guess in my mind, I'm using the posts in a way to make, and that's why I kind of want to know if it's possible to like, you know, this month it's 3, next month it's another 3, not necessarily carry a slider, but stuff moving like visual that, you know, might be attractive, you know, like some, you know, you get a few people looking and it's this, and then they come back in a few weeks or a month and it's something else.
Yeah, I think we can use that for the in the blog area. I mean, having 3 new posts every month or every 2 months, and then it will pull in automatically the 3 latest posts. So you don't have to do anything. You just have to publish the post, and you will see here the 3 latest ones.
I know, I get it. I get it. I'm just saying, like, for this year, let's
Yeah.
say, I'm not doing more posts. Like
Okay.
everything is just more like target, like marketing, and sort of to get impressions really is the goal, just so people come to the site and visit it. So
Mhm.
it's kind of like what is the uh, growth marketing versus brand marketing, you know? So I'm kind of trying to just get people to the site, and then while that's happening, improve the blogs the best I can, the layout of the page, um, uh, so that kind of thing. But maybe I could make like a sticky, maybe I can make the sticky one the product review, you know, so that it's there. I mean,
No, so I wouldn't think too much about the pyrotechnics, like, but more on the content. So if you would have 3 great blog posts here, even if you're saying, okay, listen, Dan, I'm not gonna have the time or the ability to write new posts once a month for this year. I have enough posts on the website. Let's just display them here. So you can pick 3 of your best posts on the website, and you can date them to this last week. Okay.
right.
And then they'll show up because that's the latest posts.
Yeah.
And then these are the 3 posts that you're saying that you will show people visiting the site.
Yeah.
If you'd like, you know, we can add, for example, another button under these 3 posts saying go to the blog. For more posts, go to the blog, or etc., or anything like that.
Okay. Interesting.
Because you know, all these carousels or sliders, like the experience you have in the top slider, most users don't click there, and anyway, they will look at the first 3 that show up. So I think if you look at the 3 content items that you would like to showcase, we can set so they will show up there.
Yeah, I think I would take our story, remove it, and maybe put like product reviews or Sheena's, you know, one of the ones with the reviews on it. So
Yeah, sure. You want to do it now?
yeah.
All right. So Let me just move this.
Again, I think, focusing more on content just so it's like, I'm sort of getting like, oh, should I be doing the blog, thing, or should the carousel have that? It's like,
well, I think you should be doing a blog thing. I mean, the content is one of the, almost the most important thing on your website, apart from the product. And that what essentially will drive more people to your website. And also will build trust, since they see you as an expert and they see that you're writing about it and you've been writing recently and you've been writing constantly. So that really helps.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, you see our story is sticky.
Yeah, I realize. Mm-hmm.
So if we removed it from being sticky, and now tell me from here right now.
Yeah, probably.
Just see what happens now that our story will be removed, and which are the three. I don't. Oh, sorry.
It's loading.
No, it's I have to, because it was sticky. I have to change something here. Second, we'll let it load. Because sticky is not counted as a post, so I had to do it sticky +2, and now it's just 3.
Got it. Good to know.
Yeah. So now we'll fresh. Okay. So this is the first one, tools, summer, and then now available. And this doesn't have an image. That's why it's shown without an image.
Yeah, I see.
So now if we look at the list of posts over here, you see we have the date. If I click here on the date, it'll sort it by date published.
Yeah, I've seen that. Like I've changed. Yeah, I get it. That it will change its placement, right? In
the 3 blog posts that show up in the homepage, they're the 3 most current ones.
Yeah, I'm thinking if I just take one item and make it sticky, and then still have the 2, like you reset the number to 3 now, but
yeah, but why would you want it to be sticky?
Well, so that the product review is available, if that's like one of the most important content.
Which is the product review here?
So now this is the thing, because I think so I'd say diversify types and texture gives a range of people that use the product.
Okay, so for example, we'll take this and we'll change the date to...
Is it permanent though? Because the thing is, like, isn't it nice? Oh, yeah, you can change it. Okay,
you can
right.
change it. Just for this example's sake and to show you it can be done. So we change it to March 25th. Okay, so now you have these diversify.
Mm-hmm.
And then
this is like all old content, so I feel weird about making the date. But anyway, it's just one of those weird nitpicky things,
Well, you can update. It's easier than creating a new post. You can just update this.
Right, and that would actually be one I would ask for your advice on. How do I go about updating it? If like I'm missing maybe some of the pictures, or they're too small, or...
For this post specifically?
Yeah, I think that's the post specifically. There might be 3 that are just like, what is going on? So that you click on one of those images and it just takes you to like a page called Clues It, which is...
Yeah.
So I could go to the product review page with it. I can make it the product review page probably, which would be with that young lady and her mom, who are her mother Candace, who spoke on the product back in 2015. Anyway, but yeah, I guess that would be and then that link there, the YouTube link, it's not a video in the post, so it's not offering whatever that was.
Oh, this should be, this should be fixed. This should be an embeddable video, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And also, I find this text a bit hard to read.
Agreed.
Like for a short title, for 2-3 words, like it's okay. Yeah. But like a paragraph, I would use like normal text.
Well, and that's the thing on many pages, on many posts, it's sort of just, it's doing this kind of thing. Like there are some new settings that came in 2018. And I think for whatever reason, the old site that was there in 2017 just carried over and fell into some place on the page that this text was.
Yeah. Well, yeah. we can deal with this also. Like if, ongoing, we can.
Future, yeah.
Every time we can, attack a certain aspect of the site and fix it as we go. Yeah, we can for sure. We can do that.
Great. Yeah.
So now, you know how to manage the posts here.
Yes, I'll return to that.
Right. So you go back to that, and then you can decide which 3 posts you want here. Okay.
So, yeah.
I also here I added this spacing here.
Yeah. It was covered.
Yeah. I don't know why, but I just added spacing. These themes, if you don't, if they're not updated and they're not in constant care, they tend to, mess up things because they're so overloaded with stuff. So sometimes they get out of line.
The theme?
Yeah, because with all the features that they have, like they have hundreds or maybe thousands of features, like what you said with the text that got berserk or whatever didn't work right. So the site has to be taken properly cared of, and maintenance and everything, to see that everything's working correctly.
Yeah, that sounds good. I mean, I figured just updating plugins and the auto optimize is the key, but I guess there's more.
Auto optimize, it's good. It optimizes images and code and stuff. But for example, I think that the page builder, which is the visual builder, the WP Bakery and the Slider Revolution, are older versions. And they're actually premium ones. So if you want to update, you have to pay them. So it depends on you if you want to update or not, but these are things that you should know about.
Yeah. No, that's what I want to know about. So I guess my last question was just, how do I access that slide? Well, it's like, what is it called? Carousel slider. It's where the reviews are sort of active.
This one here?
Yeah, I haven't been able to find that, and then I'm trying to.
So I'll show you. So what we do is, let me just close a few tabs so we won't get lost here. Okay. So this is the back end of the new homepage. Okay. And you see the sections here. So the first section, that's a new slider that we created. And then this is the text area. And this is the 3 products. And then we have the 3 columns here, which are, this is shop, locations, and wholesale. Each one with an icon. And then we have the blog section. And then this next section, this image here is actually slider with one slide.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the same sort of idea.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see here, it says testimonials carousel.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So if I click on the pencil here, it'll open up the edit screen. And that goes for every module here.
Mm.
And now we can see the settings. Now what this usually does, over here is just the settings of number of testimonials, the order, title, etc., all the design.
Mm.
The actual testimonials are probably created here on the side. Let's see. Yeah, you see here?
Yep. Testimonials. And
So if I click here on testimonials, I'll open it in a new tab. These are the 3 testimonials you'll have.
Okay, there they are. Mm-hmm.
So if you're thinking of a creative way of using them, you can use them, for example, for ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
So you would highlight an ingredient and then write a bit about it.
Yeah.
Or, a product, or any other things you like to showcase.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking I would use that for versus posts.
Sorry, you were cut out versus what?
Yeah, no, I was thinking of using it more for just like quick notes, features, sort of like, hey, did you know? Or hey, this might be interesting.
Yeah,
Post,
that's it.
yeah, okay, good. So that's where that is.
Right, and what you would do is you would just go here and edit, like you
Yeah,
edit
like
a post.
in the post, yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you created these, so you probably
I
know it
did
already.
not. No.
Okay,
No.
so you have here, so it's pretty self-explanatory. You have the text,
Yeah.
and then if it's an actual testimonial, so you add the author,
Yeah.
and then the image that shows.
Yeah. Good stuff. Yeah, that's a real testimony, and they're real pictures. But it's like, okay, so yeah, that was gonna be my. I guess it'll be nice to visit some of the posts and see if there's a way to optimize the page, the posts to some standard. Get rid of some of that blue fancy writing and just make plain black text.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
what I would do is I would ask you to maybe highlight the 5 most important posts in your website right now, and we can take care of them. And by taking care of them, some of the fixes that we'll do will go to the other posts as well. Some of them will have, we'll still have to do it manually. But for now, I would say for like, if you want to go ahead and mark that as your next goal, fixing the post.
Yeah.
Maybe part of the work would be like the actual work on the post layout, the way it's laid out.
Mm.
That'll influence all the posts on the website. But part of the work will be to do some manual design and layout improvements for those 5 posts as we start. And then again, I'll do the improvements and I'll walk you through how I did them so you can learn and know, but you can also implement for the next 5 posts. So you would know how to do it.
Yeah, that sounds good. I mean, I feel like I've got 3 to 5 now, my top, that are current, like recent, and there's some CSS and there's some really nice looking posts. But I don't know why, for any reason, that didn't translate or transfer over into some of the other ones. But maybe in some ways it did, because there's that fancy writing. It's just that it's probably more of a manual post. Like if you have like a minute just to look, you could see
well, I can see for example, let's open that post again. Like this.
That's a good example of some things that carried over, it seems, but they're not looking good.
Right. So this, for example, here, if I look at the code behind, I can see that this title is made of a H3, and H3 has this font, the dancing script. So if, for example, if I would remove this,
I see.
you see. Now I don't need to remove this. Maybe we need a subtitle here with this type of font. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But again, like I said, it would be good for 2-3 words. And then after that, you would use like a normal text. Like for example, if this were like a regular paragraph, you see here, this is H3. Again, it has this dancing script. Maybe we just need to change this like this, and then we make the font size smaller, and then we organize the images here.
Yeah, that's the idea. I think that's the manual, because even if you go edit this page or edit the post, it's like, I don't know where all these things fall. Like in some posts, it's like I could just like change the font inside of the post,
Right.
the edit. Right? I'm not going into the source, but
in the editor, you can edit the actual, like you can mark a piece of text and then say, okay, this is a heading or paragraph or whatever. And once you set it as a heading, it takes the style guide from the website and says, okay, for heading, well, this is what is configured, this type of font.
Fancy font or dance font.
Exactly. So in order to make a post readable, we have to work within a structure saying, okay, this is a title, and then we have a subtitle, and they have specific font styles, and then we have like the text.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
And then we think about the layout, and these images are really, really small, and it's hard to, today's websites, they usually show like standout large images, wide, so people can swipe or move the scroll and see the big images.
To have some of the like the sort of Android photo effect, because if I go to an event and I'm taking pictures on my phone, it would be nice that I could like use those in some way, like keep it sort of down to earth also in that way.
Yeah, sure. So once you take pictures on your phone, you download them to your computer, and then you can upload them here into the blog post.
Right.
And you can utilize like a basic gallery, or even without a gallery, just show one image under each other.
Okay.
And you can add like a short caption for each image, if you want to add a short description of what the user is seeing. That can also help. Okay. And make it,
So I think it'd be nice on the next meeting to look at maybe 2 or 3 of these older posts, because the newer ones, they're all pretty fresh, I think. I'm happy with them, but it's these ones that I need to sort of source maybe the image or get rid of it and just sort of make the page a little bit more attractive, like the post more attractive. I was also wondering like what your suggestions are, if any, about like scope of work moving forward.
Right. So what we talked about at the beginning, a couple hours a month, so we can keep the work going and not like work 1 month and then half a year not work, and then we miss all the 6 months in between, because it's sort of like in the stock market, you miss all the opportunities to work. So I would look into like having, we can start with 2 hours, see that's enough for ongoing work, and we would target our goal. So one goal might be, set up a good, robust platform for you to upload posts. Meaning we take of course, we use the current site, but in the 2 hours, I would see how we can improve the layout and give you some tools. So, or, create one sample post so you can work off of that. And then the next month, maybe we can look at how to improve the SEO of the site. Next month, we'll look at how to improve, the shopping aspect. Maybe do some email marketing. you know, there's lots of things to do.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's up to you, however you want to advance. You know, I'll suit myself to your wills and your targets and goals for the website. I can just give my recommendations, and you know, you can go ahead from there.
Yeah, I'm counting on sort of you, what it is I want to do, you know, and yeah,
Yeah, you
because
also mentioned you had some marketing goals, right?
yeah,
So, you know, we should work with them, because if you invest money, for example, in campaigns, and you know, an ad campaign, people click on it and you land on a page, we have to see that that page is, you know, optimized and working well and mobile friendly and everything. So if, you know, if you're doing your marketing yourself, or you're working with some marketing agency, we have to see that those goals are aligned. So
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what that's good. That sounds good. Yeah. And that's kind of what this is about. Like for me with you is to just optimize the site, the posts, the pages, the images, and get a schedule together for the year that I can at least implement these things, you know, with some confidence and some, you know, professional help, you know. But yeah, I've had help with setting up the campaigns, and I'm learning a bit about, you know, what the tools are, what the skills required are to do those properly, and then getting information about how people are actually interacting with the website. So they are looking into the blogs. There are like, you know, 3 or 4 that seem to be really popular, and I think if I can optimize a few more, then maybe those become tools. I think our conversion settings are not functioning for some reason. They're not reporting information. So we have to figure out how to make better sense of how the ads are performing, and people, are they purchasing? Are they, you know, downloading? Are they signing up for the newsletter? More specifically, like we see that happening, but it's not so much from the ads we're running. So yeah, I'm making sense of the data. I guess I should say the first 8 weeks was setting up, and that happened in November last year. That was our start date. September, October, wait. Yeah, October was our start date. So set October to November, and then we just started sort of now optimizing the website so that, you know, and making sense of the data, and then optimizing the website, if that makes sense. You know, it's sort of like relying on the data to give us.
So who did you work with doing that?
Yeah, I work with freelance like developers and data analysis people. So yeah, he's a data analysis I guess researcher, and he implemented the tools for marketing on Google and on Facebook. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I'm just saying, because you're saying that you're not sure about how the conversions work, so that's why I asked who applied those in the website, so you can go back and say, oh, listen, can you show me the path of a user once he clicks on an ad, lands on my website? Where does he go from there? Why does he end up buying?
Yeah.
So again, if you want that, you know, we start off with the posts, we can start looking at that and show improvement in that aspect. What I would need for you, if you want to go that way, is you know, tell me which are the 3-4 posts that you want to improve. And of course, if we take a look at this post, for example, so it's not really balanced, because there are a lot of imagery and they're not very good, and there's very little very little text.
Yeah.
So I would think about, you know, for a post to look good in terms of layout design, it should be more balanced.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. So like, how do you call that? Is that like optimizing the page or the post? Is that sort
yeah,
of?
that would be part of the work of optimizing the blog posts on your site. So
Okay.
we would look at, you know, between 2 and 4 posts that you, based on, you know, that data analytics, we'll see these are the 3 most or 4 most popular posts on a website. So let's make sure they look the best, and their layout is fine, and they're friendly to read,
Okay.
and you know, they have a call to action maybe also.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe I'll forward you the 3 just via email, and you
Yeah.
can take a look and maybe get some feedback on, and then maybe go at it, you know, and then walk me through what we did, how we changed it, how I can keep it up or add to it if necessary, kind of thing.
Yeah, sure. We can do that. I just want to know. So you want to go forward with the 2-hour retainer monthly, because then I have to know, and I have to set
Yeah,
the
yeah.
time and see that, you know, you're getting the proper attention.
Yeah, yeah. I would like to start with 2 hours and then see how that works for starters.
Okay.
I kind of also have like a budget, and I think sales are a little slower than usual. It's a bit
Yeah, it's
of
a
course, a weird
it's a
time.
time
Yeah.
in the global world. Yeah.
But it
Yeah.
should come back together and really be. I'd be happy that the website is in great condition when it all sort of passes.
Exactly,
Yeah.
because now we have time to prepare. So when people are back and bouncing back and start, you know, going out and need their hair care, the
Mm-hmm.
website will be ready.
Right. Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah.
So I could, yeah, I'd like to start with 2 hours on a schedule. It would be good to know what days and times that works. And then maybe, yeah, like that robust platform, layout tools, look at the posts, then the SEO, marketing goals, that kind of thing, optimizing for that. So
Hmm.
yeah,
Okay,
first
so
week and then.
yeah, so I'll send you an email with a few items that I think that we can start, and you also send me your thoughts. Um,
Wonderful.
and you know, and then I'll allocate the 2 hours. It'll be like 2 hours in one specific day of the month.
Okay.
It won't be like, you know, it's not 20 minutes every other day.
No,
And
got it. I mean, I'm pretty good for an hour, but I can go for 2. I've got like, I feel like I have to somehow manage the information that I take in, but we could try doing all 2 hours in one sit if that works for you. But I think my preference is probably 1 hour each. But
oh,
so,
what I meant by 2 hours is that I do the 2 hour work,
yes,
and then we have like a 30-minute Zoom where I show you
got it.
what's been done.
Okay. Yep, that works.
Uh, so yeah, that I think would be the best. Okay, good. So I'll send you an email. You send me the email that you want to start off with the first post, and we'll get this started in April.
Right on. Well, thank you, Dan. I
Oh,
appreciate your
one last thing.
yeah.
So right now we have the new homepage I created. So I'll push it to the live homepage, right?
Yes, thank you.
And I'll take the slider to be the nourish one.
Yes.
Okay, good. So I'll do that, and
Great.
I'll tell you when it's done. If you like,
Okay.
within an hour.
Yeah. Site will go down for a little bit. It'll stay in red an hour or two.
Sorry.
Okay. So when will I see this active page, like the new homepage?
Oh, like within an hour. Like
Okay.
today.
Right on.
I'll
Okay,
take care of it.
great. Yeah. So
Excellent.
I'll consider that complete, and then if you don't mind, forward me the balance owed, and I'll take care of that before the end of the week for
Sure.
sure.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much. Yeah, I'll do that.
Awesome.
And we'll be in touch.
Yay. Thanks, man.
Okay.
Appreciate it. Nice work. Okay.
Nice to talk. All right.
Yeah. Bye now.
Bye bye.